So we're going to do a 6-month review of what's been happening with Cheuk Cheuk's speech development. Now, this has been a particularly difficult area for us. And it's been a challenge. One of the things we noticed early on is that Cheuk Cheuk was not very good at imitating what we were doing. His ability to sort of use his body to copy exactly what we were doing was quite a challenge. So when we were doing tasks like the body imitation as copying like big gross motor activities, that really took us some time to do that. In addition to his sort of inability to be really good at copying our body actions, that also reflected in his ability to copy our speech. So when we would make a sound or get him to copy what we say, he found it very difficult to kind of produce the same sound or to say the same things in the way that we would pronounce it. So this was a real challenge, and we've had to spend a lot of time working on this area. So we've done a lot of imitation tasks, and we also had to use some tools in order to help him to make some different sounds. In this video you can see us using a sort of like little lollipop to get him to stick his tongue out, to copy us when we stick our tongue out as an oral motor exercise. We also found it difficult getting him to pronounce whole words, so we really had to break it down into like having him just say individual sounds, individual vowels, individual consonant sounds, and we have to spend a lot of time to practice with him to get him to copy what we were saying accurately before we can get to the words and the sentences. We developed a couple of ways for him to follow us and make it easier for him. One is that we taught him to understand that the different letters of the alphabet, which he's very interested in, all represented different sounds. When we showed him those alphabets, he's able to make those sounds. I think this helped quite a lot in his program.
Wow, 犀利！呢個喳係啦。呢個啪係喎。
The other thing we did is we did a dot program, meaning that we would have a picture or an object, and then when we would say that, we would use the dots to break the sound down, like mama or pa, and the dots were able to indicate to him that there was a number of different sounds that he had to make, so he could kind of break the word down into different bits. We then wanted to try to blend those sounds together to make words like mommy or papa.
咩嚟㗎？係啊，好犀利啊！呢個咩嚟㗎？
If you remember, we started by teaching the two-step imitation, which is following us to do different actions, not verbally, but just with our bodies to copy 2 steps. This is a helpful task because the task of saying mommy is really a 2-step task. So we started with the objects, and then we moved towards having him copy our body to do 2 steps, and then we moved to oral motor activities where he would copy 2 actions, and then finally we got to him being able to listen to us verbally to say 2 sounds and then copy what we said accurately. You can see now a more advanced phase where we're starting to have him do some describing, putting 2 words together, and you can see we help him with that by having some like box where he sort of puts the subject and the verb, and you can see on the cards are still the dots as reminders for him to break those down. So it's a bit more advanced now, and it's really helping him to sort of really think carefully and clearly about how he's going to pronounce those words. So it's a big change.
做緊咩？係喎，玩巴士喎，你講得好清楚喎，今次 high five。
In the next video, you can see we've been able to actually fade those dots out, and he's still doing the similar task, which is around the describing, but he's now able to, articulate that without the use of those sort of like visual prosthetics.
唔係喎，望清楚喎，做緊咩啊？雞蛋冇錯喎，聽得好清楚啦。
踢波
踢波，好嘢！
呀
嚇？
呀
我去喎，姐姐食橙喎，食唔食一嚿啊？
俾嚿你啊！
正唔正啊？
So I feel like he's made some real progress with his expressive language. It's really been a task we've had to apply ourselves to with a lot of time, and it hasn't come as easy as it has done for some other children. But he's making really good progress, and we're very, very happy to see how he's now able to use his language to label things, to request for items, to start to put those into a couple of words, to start to describe his environment. So it's a half year, but it's good progress.